Lord, I come to you before the sun warms the earth. Eyes closed, breathing slow, palms open like empty fields. You know the cracks in my soil, the places where worry dried me out and long nights left me brittle. But even here, at first light, I feel your nearness like dew gathering on tired ground. You are the one who visits the furrows, who softens the clods, who crowns the year with goodness when I can't force a single sprout. I confess the places I've clenched my fists around outcomes and timetables. Fear says the drought is my story. Gratitude says the rain is already on the way. So I choose gratitude at the gate of this day. Gratitude before the forecast changes. Gratitude before the field looks green. I lift my voice where silence has been heavy. You are faithful, and I am not forsaken. What if the harvest doesn't begin after the breakthrough, but the breakthrough begins after the thank you? What if something impossible happens this week? Not because I finally controlled it, but because I finally trusted you. Let this morning be the hinge where my heart turns from scarcity to song. Let hope color the horizon and your mercy trace rivers through. Every valley I carry, I surrender. The rows I've overworked and the seeds I've second-guessed. Water what I cannot reach. Protect what I cannot see. Redeem what I thought was wasted. Teach me the rhythm of grateful breath. Inhale your kindness. Exhale my fear. And as first light spreads, let my spirit say it aloud and mean it. Today will not be barren. If faith is stirring in you, type in the comments. I believe something impossible can happen this week. Soil and silence, preparing the heart to receive. Lord, I slow my breathing until the noise inside settles like dust after wind. Inhale your nearness. Exhale my hurry. Let the clatter of unfinished tasks fall to the edges while your quiet takes the center. I bring you a field that looks ordinary, furrows from routine, patches of doubt, places I've stepped too hard. Touch the surface until it loosens beneath your hand. Break the crust that worry baked in the heat of yesterday. Let mercy soak in where my strength cannot. We're not just praying, we're preparing for something supernatural. This is not performance. It is posture, not effort, but opening. Make my heart a soft place where your word lands without bouncing off the old defenses. Where I've built walls to protect disappointment, turn them into doors that welcome your timing. Where I've stacked stones of cynicism, rearrange them into an altar of expectation. Teach me to wait like soil waits, still receptive, quietly convinced that unseen work is still work. Speak to the hidden roots. Grow downward before I reach upward. Align my pace with yours. The gentle rhythm of seed time and harvest. If I must sow with tears, let those tears become early rain. If I must pause, let the pause become preparation, not punishment. Bless the boundaries I keep tonight, and the margins I honor tomorrow. Guard my attention from the thorns of constant scrolling and the weeds of comparison. Give me the courage to steward small obediences, the kind that keep the rows straight and the hope steady. Visit this earth within me as you promise. Crown this season with your goodness. And as silence deepens, let trust take root, so when your first light touches the field, Gratitude is already green. Rain for the furrows, asking for mercy and daily strength. Lord, I come honest and unguarded. My mind is crowded with due dates and balances, the bill that startled me this morning, the message I'm avoiding because I don't know what to say. Fatigue presses on my shoulders like a late storm. Even small tasks feel heavy. Peace at home flickers. Words have grown sharp. Distance hides inside polite sentences. Here are my empty hands. Here is my thirsty ground. Have mercy on this field, God. Tilt the clouds of your kindness over my life and let steady rain begin. Soak the furrows of routine and the ridges of fear. Wash the salt of disappointment from the soil and return the tenderness I have misplaced. Where I have sown in tears, meet me with songs I cannot manufacture. Strength for today, Lord, not the spectacular, but the sufficient. Bread for this hour. Clarity for the next step. An answer that does not shame me. A path that does not break me. Water the seeds of patience in my speech and courage in my decisions. Bless the work of my hands, the job that feels small, the call I still must make, the apology I need to give. I refuse the lie that dry seasons are dead seasons. You turn dust into gardens and scarcity into testimonies, and the same God who parted the sea is listening now. Move what I cannot move. Open where I cannot. Open. Carry what I cannot carry. Let mercy fall like a long, soaking rain. Let strength rise like wheat after thunder. And as the ground drinks, teach my heart to drink too, until gratitude sprouts, hope greens, and I stand up lighter, rooted in your promise, ready to walk forward in peace. Memory of rains, Psalms 65 and 126 alive. Lord, you have always spoken in the language of rain. From the beginning, you crowned each year with goodness, softening the earth with showers, filling rivers that had forgotten their sound. You make the furrows drink deeply, and the pastures shout for joy. Every blade of grass becomes a testimony that you visit what others abandon. In your world, no drought lasts forever, not in the field, not in the heart. Psalm 65 reminds me that you do not simply bless abundance. You bless preparation. You meet the soil before the seed knows it has a future. You turn dust into melody and ridges into rhythm. And when I lift my eyes from complaint to remembrance, I see you never stopped watering. I just stopped noticing the rain. Then Psalm 126 rises in me like dawn after exile. When the Lord restored Zion, we were like those who dream. I remember the seasons when joy felt foreign, when laughter had to be learned again. You promised that those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. And you meant it. Every tear that fell unseen was counted and stored in your mercy until the right hour of return. Now I look around and realize this is that hour. The field before me may still hold scars of plowing, but it's glistening again with promise. The harvest you planned did not vanish. It ripened while I despaired. You turned memory into mercy, history into hymn. So today, I pivot from asking to thanking. Gratitude is no longer the reaction. It is the soil itself. Let my heart remember rains already fallen. Not only storms already survived, let me stand where the sower once wept and say with trembling joy, "You were faithful then, and you are faithful now." From seed to song, when waiting turns to return, Lord, I come to you with the ache of slow seasons still in my chest. Some doors stayed shut so long I learned the shape of their wood by memory. Some prayers felt like seeds buried and forgotten, and my hands grew tired from sowing where I could not yet sing. But here, beneath a sky rinsed by your mercy, I choose again to trust the ground you chose for me. If the path narrowed, let it be because your love was guiding my feet away from cliffs I couldn't see. If the way closed, let it be because you were sheltering the harvest from an untimely wind. You are not the God of accident. You are the keeper of seasons. You number rains. You schedule dawn. You turn detours into covered roads. And I am safer than I knew. I release the question that bruised my mouth. Why so long? I receive the answer that humbles my fear, because I was preparing the song. Your silence was not absence. It was the careful tuning of strings in the dark. While I waited for sound, you were stretching the melody to fit the miracle. While I measured days, you were multiplying grain. So now, with hands open and heart steady, I thank you for every field that didn't ripen when I demanded it. I bless every no that was truly a better yes in disguise. I honor the mystery that guarded me when understanding could not, and I declare it in faith over this very hour. The answer is already in motion. Mercy is already moving across the furrows. Justice and peace have already met at the boundary lines of my life. What once seemed like the last mile of a barren road is becoming the first mile of return. Breathe on these planted words. Lord, let hidden roots drink deeply. Let the ground loosen where grief compacted it. Let the seed remember the verse you wrote into its shell. Tears become rivers. Rivers become songs. I will carry sheaves with both hands, and I will not rush the refrain because you, faithful and near, are turning waiting into worship and seed into song. Daily tending, habits that keep gratitude bright. Lord, I don't want today's praise to fade by noon. Teach me to tend the field you've given, one small habit at a time until gratitude becomes my weather. First, a whispered verse before any screen, before messages. I breathe and speak. You crown the year with goodness. My paths drip with abundance. Your words land like dew. The soul softens. The heart remembers where harvest comes from. Second, a living Thanksgiving list. Not grand speeches, simple lines that train my eyes, warm light on the table, an honest conversation, the bill that was paid, the strength to try again. I date each line, because testimony has a calendar. When fear knocks, I read it back like rainfall records. Third, holy boundaries with technology. I set hours for silence and hold them. I turn off alerts to turn on awareness. When rest begins, I put the phone in another room and let your presence be the last glow in the dark. Fourth, peace walking. I take slow steps outside, no rush, no podcast, just air and your nearness. With every stride I pray a person's name. With every exhale I release a worry, feet learn what faith knows. Your paths are prepared. Fifth, a generous posture. I choose one quiet gift each day, an encouraging message, a meal, a seed given where no return is guaranteed. Gratitude ripens when it is shared, and through the day, small resets, hand on heart, I am kept, I am guided, I am provided for. If drought thoughts return, I water the ground with worship. If comparison whispers, I bless another's harvest aloud. Guard these rhythms in me. Lord, let practice become pulse and pulse become praise. Keep my eyes bright, my steps unhurried, my hands open, so that by nightfall, the field of my life still glows with thanks, and tomorrow finds me ready to sow again. Sheaves in our arms. Confirmation. Guidance and quiet courage. Lord, I lift my hands with the quiet certainty of a farmer at dusk, trusting the field we tended together. If the heart wonders whether the rains were real, write your answer in simple lines I can read. An unexpected message. A door that stays closed because love protects. A door that opens with peace inside its frame. Mark the path with humble confirmations. Let counsel come from voices that carry your fragrance. Let timing align like geese in steady formation. Not hurried, not late, but beautifully guided. If a crossroad rises, give me the courage to choose the path where gratitude grows, not the one my fear decorates. Place favor on the next steps. Give me clarity for what to plant, and patience for what must rest. Let provision meet me like water meets a planted seed, quiet, faithful, sufficient. If I must wait, let the waiting hum with purpose. If I must move, let my movement carry your calm authority. Lord, set angels at the thresholds of my life. Home, work, conversation, thought. Guard what enters and what leaves. Let no bitterness pass the gate, no envy take root, no accusation linger. Establish a gentle boundary of mercy where I meet the world, and a deeper boundary of truth where I meet myself. Teach my eyes to read your cues in ordinary light, the right word arriving at breakfast, the burden lifting in the afternoon, the strength that returns at evening. Keep my steps from slipping on the slope of assumption. Let counsel, courage, and kindness be the rhythm of my stride. I bless the road behind for what it taught, and the road ahead for what it promises. I bless my hands to carry wisely and release freely, and I bless this night to seal what you began. We walked the field together. Now we walk the granary. Let the harvest be handled with humility. Let the song rise without noise. Keep my heart steady, my pace unhurried, my hope awake, until the promise stands visible, like sheaves in our arms, and every step whispers, surely goodness has found us. The field sings, from petition to testimony. Lord, I feel the last tremor of worry like thunder far beyond the hills, and I stand very still to listen. All night the heart asked, will the furrows ever fill? Will the seed we buried ever breathe? Now in this quiet, your answer gathers like color after rain, not loud, not rushed, yet undeniable. The ground under my feet loosens its fear and learns a softer language. Release, receive, rejoice. I look back and see it clearly. The drought did not define us. It trained us to thirst for you. Tears were not wasted. They mapped irrigation lines you were drawing in secret. And here, where we worried we had nothing left, mercy rises like mist and crowns the morning with goodness. This is the turning, the subtle wonder psalm singers knew, sorrow becoming pathways for joy, seed becoming song, waiting becoming welcome. I am not the only one hearing it. Across kitchens and buses, hospital halls and quiet bedrooms, your people are waking to the same melody. We are scattered, yet held together by the same harvest hand, the same faithful rain. Faith connects us across distances. Gratitude tunes us to one choir. We do not compete for blessing. We collect it together, and the field sings louder because we share it. So I lift what I once hid in the soil, small hopes, thin prayers, tired courage, and I see sheaves where I expected emptiness. You turned closed paths into protection. You turned silence into answer. You turned the long night into room for roots. And now the wind moves through the grain like a benediction. Loop me back, Lord, to where we began. Dawn over the field, waking to gratitude. I breathe it again, simpler and truer. What once felt impossible is walking toward me with gentle footsteps and open hands. Let this be our testimony and our tone. If that hope is rising in you too, write it in the comments. I believe the field will sing this week. Share this with someone who sowed in tears, and let us hear their song as well. Amen. Strong, steady, and sure. Amen. For the rain already falling. Amen. For the harvest already in motion. Amen. For the God who crowns the year with goodness and teaches every planted prayer to sing.